The internet has some awfully disturbing things on it, but this is the worst thing that I've seen in quite some time. Basically, they sat down this woman that's had abortions or one abortion, I don't know, and they decided that it would be cool to have her explain to kids why she thinks it would have been okay for their parents to kill them. Stay tuned.
John Doyle in Heck Off, Commie.
Hey, welcome to Heck Off Commie. I want to start going through this right away because I want everyone to see this. I want everyone to see how the left is trying to normalize the murder of children.
Do you think that sometimes it's
First of all, whoever
okay to have
dressed
an
that kid's
abortion?
doing a fantastic job. He looks
if
quite
you're being
dapper.
reckless, if there's nothing wrong going on.
I don't know. I just don't agree.
I don't know, I just don't agree. Yeah, you just agree. You don't know. You know that abortion is wrong. I mean, she can't rationalize it. All she knows is that the mistakes have become inconvenient for her lifestyle, so she had to kill the child. And you'll see this throughout the video. She uses a lot of euphemisms to make abortion seem less evil than it really is, which is always a great metric to test honesty by how many euphemisms someone's using to describe something. And look at his face. Like, even he knows it. She's telling the child that regardless of how irresponsible she was being, she still deserves to kill her child because it's convenient for her, or even that she just doesn't feel like having the kid. And the kid's face is very telling because he knows it's wrong. He knows that it is evil.
So you think it's okay depending on the circumstances?
Yes. Why did you have an abortion?
A few years ago, I got pregnant and I really didn't want to have a baby.
See, this is the part about it. This woman represents the typical woman that gets an abortion. They throw the, well, what if she was raped? What if she's in danger? Those pregnancies represent less than 1% of all abortion cases, but they throw those at you because they know that abortion is wrong. So they have to twist the morality of it by citing cases that are extremely, extremely rare to justify the other 99% of abortions too. If it was okay in the first place, you wouldn't even need to argue by citing those extremes. And the bow tie kid, he seems to be kind of like a Bill Clinton safe, legal, rare kind of guy, but that's self-defeating as well. Because if you really thought that it was okay, there would be no need for it to be rare. But you know that it's evil. But you lie anyways. You lie to yourself, and now you're lying to these kids.
May I ask, what happened? Did he not wear a condom? Did the condom break? Was it pre-ejaculation?
Such good questions, Vanessa.
Thank you.
He wasn't wearing a condom.
Why wasn't he wearing a condom?
Have you ever had two options and one of them seems easier at the time?
Oh yeah, like you could take a shortcut or you could go the long way.
It was the
around.
shortcut version.
The first time that I watched this video, I thought that they would pick a woman whose abortion would be easier to justify by progressive standards. But this woman is literally sitting there telling these kids that because she chose to have unprotected sex, because it was easier for her at the time that a child had to die. That's exactly what she's saying.
What did your partner think at the time?
You know, I think we were both bummed out that I got pregnant.
Bummed out.
And
The
he was
miracle of
just,
human conception. Such a bummer.
Of what I wanted to do.
Were you reckless at the time?
I mean, I wouldn't really say that I was being reckless. Mistakes happen.
Yeah.
And sometimes you just don't do that in the moment. You know what I mean?
I don't know.
It wasn't a mistake. You just admitted that it wasn't a mistake. You chose to have unprotected consensual sex with someone. At least be honest with yourself. I've said this for so long, and I still stand by this. If there was someone that was pro-abortion that came out and was honest about it, they didn't call it a termination of a pregnancy, they didn't call it a clump of cells, if they just straight up said into a microphone, yep, I think it should be okay to kill babies, I would actually be far more okay with that than I am with this, because they're lying about it. They're sugarcoating it with euphemisms because they know it's wrong, because they know that they're selfishly killing children. It's absolutely disgusting.
You go to the doctor and they put this little straw inside of your cervix and then inside of your uterus, and then they just suck the pregnancy out.
Suck the pregnancy out? Oh, you mean suck the child out. You mean kill the child. Perhaps I misheard you. It isn't always that simple. The current Democratic Party platform calls for the repeal of the Hyde Amendment, by the way, which prevents tax dollars from paying for abortions, but they already do indirectly, but whatever. They also want abortion to be allowed throughout the third trimester of the pregnancy. What she's talking about there with the suction, that can only be performed for about the first 12 weeks of the pregnancy when the child is about the size of the width of your hand. Afterwards, once they've grown, typically in the second trimester, you're going to need to use the catheter to suck out the amniotic fluid surrounding the child, at which point you'll introduce a tool called a soffit clamp, which is a 13-inch stainless steel instrument that effectively acts as pliers with teeth on the gripping ends of it. From there, you insert the soffit clamp into the woman's uterus and you grab onto whatever you can and you pull until it comes out. Usually, you're going to want to go one limb at a time until you have all the limbs accounted for, also the spine, heart, lungs, and all the other body parts that this infant human has miraculously developed inside of and independently of you and your body. The head of the child, by that point, is too large to be pulled out. You simply take the soffit clamp and you just crush the child's skull until you see the white fluid secreting from the woman's uterus. That used to be the brain of the child. From there, you can just pull out the pieces of the crushed skull out of the uterus and finish the procedure. That's your termination of pregnancy. That's your clump of cells. That's what she's talking about. That's what she's advocating for.
I've gotten into many an internet argument about it. Facebook, Instagram, just all the social media.
That's the place where that goes down.
It's so taboo to a lot
Murder
of
tends to be
folks, and I don't
taboo in
know
developed
why.
cultures, I've
Do you
noticed.
think that sometimes it's not okay to have an abortion?
I want to say if you're being reckless,
So what do we do with them?
put them up for adoption.
I feel like if I am forced to create life, I have lost the right to my own life.
Who forced you? Did you not choose to have sex with that man without protection? Did you not choose to be irresponsible? You knew what would happen, did you not? And now you claim that it's a violation of your rights to ask you not to kill the child? Sure, what about the rights of the child though? Does he or she not have rights? Why is it that if you kill a pregnant woman, you're charged with double homicide?
Even if you're giving a kid up for adoption, you still have a kid out there somewhere, you know?
Yeah.
You are stupid. You are a selfish human. You could have not had unprotected sex. Do you know the probability of pregnancy if you don't have unprotected sex? I'll clue you in. It's virtually 0%. There is no scenario where your body will create life if you do not have unprotected sex. But you want to be in the moment. You want to, I'm so lost in this moment. Go ahead, don't wear a condom. You want the fun, impulsiveness of it, but when you find out you're pregnant, oh, well, I don't want that part. I just wanted to do everything that leads up to that part, so I guess I'll just kill it.
Are you religious at all?
I believe in God.
What do you think that God thinks about abortion?
I'm going to be honest with you. I watched the first 30 or 45 seconds of this when it was sent to me just to get an idea of it. And I'm watching it now, and I can't believe the things coming out of this woman's mouth. This woman is evil. This woman is saying evil things to this child. And I also just noticed that they disabled the comments on the video. The video has thousands of dislikes, much more than it has likes. So, of course, they don't want any dissent. They don't want anyone commenting on how openly sadistic this is.
What do you think God thinks about abortion?
I think it's all part of God's plan.
God's plan, give me a break. That's such a typical atheist argument. If God exists, why do people get cancer? If God exists, why did 9/11 happen? If God exists, why do Hitler? You are really missing the point. God gave us free will. The price of living in freedom is that people will do evil things. But that's even better than an alternative where we don't have free will. So then to forward the responsibility that you have for having done something evil onto God by saying, well, this is God's plan because if God didn't want this to happen, it wouldn't have happened. No, God gave you free will. You chose to become a monster. That was you.
Yeah, I'm Catholic.
Have you ever heard of what the Catholic Church thinks about abortion?
I don't think the church liked it.
Yeah.
Because they see it as killing the baby.
Yeah,
What do you
boo
guys
Catholics. Those guys are lame.
I think that it's up to you,
Same.
because
I feel supported by that.
The entire format of the video is designed to get people to agree with her. The kids know that abortion's wrong because the kids know what morality is. They aren't old enough yet to be able to explain why murder is okay using progressive talking points. So of course, they can't stand up to her, and of course then they hesitantly agree with her and laugh with her.
Clearly, some people believe that life begins at conception.
Which it doesn't.
Which it doesn't. Haha, yeah, those people are crazy. Yes, it does. Aren't you guys the self-proclaimed party of science? Why is bacteria on another planet considered life, but the conception of a child is not? They're the same thing. The difference is that the child will have a heartbeat in about 3 weeks.
It's not really a human being yet.
That's how I feel.
Classic Democrats. It's literally textbook. If you know that it's immoral to mistreat humans, but you benefit from it, what do? Just say they're not human. They did this to black Americans 250 years ago. They're doing it to unborn children now.
Yeah, I kind of like to compare it to a sea cucumber. It's not thinking, it's just living. It's your arm is not capable of complex thought.
That
Neither
kid
is a
clearly
baby
isn't capable
inside
of complex
your
thought,
womb.
but we can't kill him.
I
can
like
we?
your take.
At any point where you're considering not doing it?
No, actually, for me, it was an instant
Oh, gotta kill the kid.
feeling. I was I'm pregnant, okay, I'm having an abortion.
was your family mad or okay?
They were okay, yeah. They were really supportive, which I think was another reason I wasn't scared, is because I knew that I had so much support.
That's so funny. Why do you need support to kill a child? Why are you the one that needs support in that scenario? If it was really no big deal like you claim, you wouldn't need support. Why didn't you just encourage them to support you in your decision to keep the child? Because you didn't want to. Because you're a piece of shit.
Have you told a lot of people or just your host family?
I told my Lyft driver on my way here. I've told so many people about my abortion, so I decided to tell everyone on Facebook that I had had an abortion.
They like to do this too. They like to let everyone know about their abortions. Just one big middle finger. They wear the shirts, they have parades, they post about it. They're so disgusting.
Have you ever been like attacked online by pro-life people?
Yes, but I don't call them pro-life. I call them anti-choice.
Oh, you got me. I'm not pro-life. I'm anti-choice. That's false though. No one is preventing your choice. I don't care whether or not you have a kid. What I do care about is when you're pregnant, when the child is on the way, and then you decide to kill it. I don't care about your decision to have unprotected sex, but now that you have, and now that you're pregnant, I care. As far as I'm concerned, you made your choice when you took the risk of having unprotected sex. If you get behind the wheel of a car, when you're drunk, you crash and kill somebody. We hold you accountable because you chose to be irresponsible and someone died because of it. Calling you pro-choice is the one that isn't accurate because everyone's pro-choice. No one's advocating for pregnancy quotas and mandates, no. The thing that separates you guys from us is that you guys are pro-abortion. You are pro-murder.
To me, the phrase pro-life is propaganda because often the people that say that don't want to take care of people who have babies that they can't afford and then are totally poor.
Bad argument, I'm losing patience. They always use this. Well, conservatives only care about the baby when it's in the womb, but once it's born, they don't want to take care of it. Here's the answer. Your right to not be killed by me does not transition into you having a right to be provided for by me. Tell that to a mugger who walks away with your wallet without shooting you in the face. Like, sir, if you're going to allow me to live, I am your responsibility to take care of. Like, no, that's not how that works. Unless the mugger is your parent, in which case I'd call into question your family dynamic.
Everyone has a different background with like faith and just how they think about the world, how they think about when life begins. Is it an arm? Is it a sea cucumber?
Everyone has their own idea of when life begins. Who cares? Truth is not subjective. Life begins at conception. The only reason you disagree with that is because you have to rationalize why you murdered your child in order to minimize your anxiety about it.
At the end of the day, it's my body, and the idea that a group of like old
do it. Say
white
men.
dudes in the
It's always there. That's not an argument. Like, I'm done. I'll leave a link to the original video in the description if you want to finish it, but I cannot watch this anymore. My IQ is lowering. I can feel it. Here's something to consider, though. If a bunch of white guys can't legally invalidate abortion, then the group of white guys that validated Roe v. Wade in the first place also can't legally validate it. Be consistent, you idiot. Also, we know that she's sexist and racist too, I guess. They can't have an opinion on abortion because they're white men. Yeah, that's bigoted. If I write down my opinion on abortion, give it to a black woman to read, is it now more valid? If you answered that question as yes, you're a bigot by definition. Everyone should say a prayer that those kids were talked to on the way home by their parents about why that woman is evil. And the light at the end of the tunnel, by the way, for this is that the majority of the ratings on the video were dislikes. The number of abortions keep decreasing. People aren't identifying as pro-abortion as much anymore. So we're winning the war here, but it's important to make sure that when stuff like this comes out, that we tear it to shreds because it's absolute garbage and everyone should know that it is, and we treat it as such. Hey guys, if you like this video, give me a thumbs up down below. You can leave me a comment too while you're there. Let me know what you think. You can click my face to subscribe too if you haven't already. And share this video with all your friends because everyone kind of agrees, or at least should agree, that killing babies is wrong. Thank you so much for watching, and may God bless America. Ka-chow.